Hi, this is a special holiday message from Tim and Julie. We really appreciated the avalanche of holiday wishes that we received. And on today's very short podcast, Julie and I are going, Julie is going to read some of the cards that we received that I think stood out. But I was shocked, if you want to know the truth, how many of you took the time to write us really nice handwritten cards. It was really heartwarming for us to have so many people show overt appreciation towards us. And it really did make, I think, the holidays extra special for us. Because it's one thing to get cards from your friends and family. It's another thing to get cards from, coaching clients, but also podcast listeners who have never had any real contact with us other than our podcast. I really sincerely appreciate the fact that you guys get us. You know that this is we are sincerely who we present ourselves to be on the podcast, and you feel so connected to all of us, or to Julie and I, and we feel connected to you guys the same way. And when we read your postcards and we read your emails and your texts, I have to say I have to remind myself sometimes that I don't know you, because it feels like we're just having this continuation of this conversation that Julie and I started on the podcast. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's funny. It's like they know us better than we know them.
Because, yeah, totally.
We are outnumbered, though, so maybe that's part of it.
Well, I've had conversations where people will just basically start talking about Zoe, and I have to remind myself that you and I have, we talk about Zoe pretty much all the time on the podcast, and they'll tell stories that we talked about on the podcast, and I have to remind myself, do I know this person? Have I told? Oh no, it's because we talked about it on the podcast, or we talked about some other thing. I forgot that we mentioned that you tripped over Ricky Martin on the beach the other day, and I'll totally forget about that. And then you and I will be, a couple times just being in our neighborhood, we have podcast listeners, and they'll say, "Oh, I heard Julie met Ricky Martin," and I was like, "What?
How do you know that?
How do you know that?"
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about it. So like maybe one of our affirmations for, is that what it is? What are the things? Resolutions for 2020 or 2021 is be less Sherry. What do you think?
I don't know. Perhaps.
No, I think we're going to.
No, it's okay.
We're going to be more Sherry. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and especially the handwritten cards. And I love seeing your guys' families. The family pictures are fantastic, and sharing some of your stories and successes. And so we wanted to take a moment on this podcast. I wish I could read all of your cards, but I'm going to just read 3 of them to share some of our gratitude and also give you guys a sense of community, because, a lot of you guys get to know each other this way. So this is from Masterminds in Charleston, South Carolina. He says, he has beautiful handwriting, but it's kind of all smushed together. So give me a second to read this. Hi, Tim, Julie, and Zoe. Merry Christmas. I want to say I highly appreciate both wisdom and practical hands-on coaching. The professional friendship we have had for more than 4 years has been priceless. I'm sharing something about my mom just had surgery a few days ago that was a success. It was the freedom I have to have been by her side for 4 days. My point is that that's one of the best things of being in real estate, the best blessings of being a real estate professional, the flexibility to make my own schedule. Best regards, Masterminds. That's absolutely practical, and our prayers to your mom. And also, it is a blessing to be able to take time off when you need it. And good for you for doing so. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you, Masterminds. Okay, this is from great agent in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Miss Renee Stiles. She says, "Thank you for all of the wonderful coaching I received from you the past year. You and Tim have certainly sent me on a path to many good things in the coming years. It felt like you were more of a trusted friend than the coach, and I appreciated that the most. This is my family, and you're helping me keep them all smiling." From Renee Stiles in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Hold on. How many people are in that picture?
They did a good job squishing. It looks like about 20 people in front of
the
Great Smoky Mountains.
There's little people there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I mean, children, not little people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow.
That's amazing. And what a beautiful setting too. So thank you for that,
Looks
Renee.
like where we have our cabin.
Yes, it is very close, in fact. Let's see. And last but not least, Federico Salvatore in Beverly Hills, California, in West LA. Dear Tim and Julie, thank you for everything that you do for all of us. I'm proud and grateful to be part of the T&J movement. That's giving us big heads, I guess. But thank you for that. Happy holidays to you, Zoe. And Maximus, another thing people sometimes remember, our giant French bulldogs, Maximus. To a new year filled with health, success, love, joy, and laughter. All my best, Fed. So thank you for that. And again, I wish I could read all of them, but that's just a sampling. And I have been doing my best to make sure that I am also sending cards to, especially to those that kind of surprise us, and I'm sending return cards.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if you get a Christmas card in, January, because
or February.
I am working on them.
They're being sent out of Puerto Rico, so they could be arriving mid-year.
Which is Puerto Rican on time,
That's
but that's
right.
okay.
Anyway, we're joking. Ha ha.
Yes.
Well, so listen, guys, thank you for having us in your heads and in your lives. It is truly our honor to be your coaches, or maybe in some cases your future coach. This is our life's work, and the feedback we get from you is a reinforcement that Julie and I are on the right path. And we really, look, we all got through 2020 together. It was not necessarily an easy year. There were a lot of ups and downs. But for the most part, most of you had your best years ever. And I'm here to tell you that 2021 is going to be the start of what's going to be an absolute success surge. Ooh, that's good.
Oh, I like that.
A success surge in your lives. And we're going to end this podcast, this little thank you podcast, and we're then going to branch off and do the predictions podcast, or at least we're going to start on it. I came up with, we're going to be 15 really rocking predictions. And they're all going to make you feel very optimistic. They're all going to make you realize that the best part of your life, honestly, the best part of your life and certainly your career is still ahead of you. It doesn't matter your age, your education level, your success level. Does not matter what's happened in the past, because you have everything waiting for you in the future, provided you take the right actions. So God bless all of you. And hey, guess what? 2020 is almost in our rear view. You made it.
You made it. That's going to be one big party on New Year's Eve, isn't it?
Except here, because it's COVID and everything's on lockdown.
Oh, I know. But Happy New Year anyway.
Happy New Year. So if you're going to a party, celebrate for Julie and I, because evidently we're not allowed to have any parties. Oh, and those of you, if Zoe's birthday is on January 1st, she's going to be 7 years old.
Amazingly.
And we're going to be posting pictures on Instagram and whatnot, because we're doing a little informal, mostly not approved birthday party. And then we're going to be doing fireworks on the beach. I'm going to tell you guys a real quick funny story. So Julie's friend, Tatiana, does she listen to the show?
I don't know. I don't think so, but she might.
So she knows that Zoe's birthday was coming up, and she mentioned to Julie, why don't you guys get some fireworks? And Julie's like, what the hell? How are we going to get fireworks? I mean, you have to wear a mask everywhere, and everything's nerfed up here because of COVID, which makes sense. We are in an island in the middle of nowhere. If there's some place where they should be very restrictive and cautious because of the virus, then it's definitely here. So we
get it.
Yeah, we get it, right? I mean, we're not mask holes, but we're real close in a lot of cases. So the reality of it is that, look, there's not a lot to do here. You can't, you can go out on the beach, you run into people. It's still, Puerto Rico, and it's still a wonderful place to be, but it's not like it was during last year or any normal holiday season here, because nobody celebrates the holidays more than Puerto Rico.
No.
Well, so Julie's friend Tatiana, she said, Julie, for Zoe's birthday, how about you guys, you're about to lose your coffee. How about you guys have fireworks on the beach for Zoe? And Julie's like, well, that sounds good, but where am I going to get fireworks? Then, of course, Tatiana knew somebody. And so there's a guy that she knew who basically sells fireworks to people directly out of the trunk of his car. I mean, if this
these are not like pipsqueak sparklers or anything.
No, these things were ridiculous.
These are like rockets.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be having a fireworks display for Zoe on her birthday on the beach in Puerto Rico. And one of the fireworks that evidently Tatiana thought was appropriate for a 7-year-old's birthday party, this damn thing is probably 4 feet long. So I don't even know what it is. I knew when we were over there picking up the fireworks from her house, somebody basically warned us to make sure we have the base of it buried like 6 inches into the sand. So,
and he also said, after you light it, make sure you run fast.
Exactly.
So, and it is funny, the whole dichotomy of what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do, and how random that is. So just so that we're clear, we're allowed to blow ourselves up on the beach, but you can't jump in the pool to put yourself out, because you're not allowed to get in the pool. Yeah. I don't understand these rules, but whatever.
You can blow yourself up at the beach as long as you have a mask on.
Yes. I suppose you could run into the ocean. But.
Well, so here's the beauty of it. We're not going to be able to talk about all these goofy things in a year, because this pandemic's going to be over. Anyway, so there's your little moment of insanity from Julie and I for today. Listen to the Predictions podcast. If you're looking for some motivation, it's coming your way. Have a fantastic day. Happy almost New Year.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.